Part 3. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 22. Has the golden fruit been born yet? It seems it's time for me to come out. Doflamingo's plan was successful. Not only did the big shots around the world see the news, but even Levi, who was practicing in Nine Snakes, also saw it. The golden fruit is the fruit of the golden emperor Tesoro, and it was because of this fruit that he became the golden emperor. But even though this fruit is powerful, Levi doesn't like it. He has a better choice. Tesoro serves as Levi's chief financial officer, and the golden fruit is an essential part of Levi's plan. It's time to leave here. Levi looked at the familiar plants and trees with emotion. He had been practicing here for nearly 2 years without knowing it. Now that his armament haki has gained some momentum, if he faced Aokiji now, he would definitely have the power to fight. Hancock has only been training with Levi for a year, and she has become the strongest person on the island of Nine Snakes. Coupled with her conqueror's haki, she has become the new emperor of Nine Snakes. After 2 years of growth, Hancock has become more and more famous. She can win the hearts of a large number of fans just by walking a few times on the street. So the new emperor of Nine Snakes was born. Hancock was often praised by her subordinates in the past 2 years, which made her temperament become more arrogant. She often did some nonsensical things, but she was still so obsessed with Levi. Obedience. Knowing that Levi was leaving, the willful Hancock wanted to lead the Nine Snakes pirate group to follow Levi, but was stopped by Levi and Gloriosa. Just kidding, if the emperor of a country goes to sea with a man, other countries will definitely laugh to death. Levi, you must miss me. Hancock stood on Kuja's pirate ship and waved goodbye to Levi reluctantly. She has sent Levi to an island outside the calm belt. Levi and Tesoro will have to rely on themselves for the rest of the journey. The Kuja pirates are reborn. This news will greatly affect Marine's nerves. Hancock is just capricious and willful, not brainless. Is this here? Levi looked at the crowds of people on the street in front of him. After nearly a month of wandering, they finally arrived at the auction place of the golden fruit. Now there are less than 2 days left before the auction of the golden fruit. Countless people, the pirates, also heard the news, so the island was already overcrowded. Levi also saw Marine on the island. Obviously Marine also has thoughts about this devil fruit. The leader is a female Marine. She is very tall and beautiful. She sees the pirates around her ready to move, but no one dares to do something about it because she is the Marine Admiral backup. Momuzagi Vice Admiral. Behind Momuzagi Vice Admiral, there is a beauty with long pink hair who is not inferior to Momuzagi at all. Next to the beauty with long pink hair is a guy who smokes 2 cigars at a time. Levi knows both of those 2 people. They are smokers. And Hina. It seems Marine is also very interested in this devil fruit. Levi thought in his mind, but Levi felt that Marine might not be able to sell this devil fruit. On this ocean, there are more than one power with devil fruit illustrations. Everyone knows what it means to get this devil fruit, so they will do it now. There are so many forces gathered here. Although Marine's family has a big business, Marines also spend a lot of money on military expenses. It is impossible for them to spend a lot of money to buy this devil fruit. I'm afraid their ultimate goal is to rob this devil fruit. This is interesting. Levi had the same plan. He didn't have that many Baileys to buy the devil fruit, but he had a strong fist. Although Levi didn't know what level of expert he was now, his feeling told him that he wouldn't have much of a problem dealing with these rotten fish and shrimps on his own. This is the reason why he dares to come here. Levi. A super pirate like you with a bounty of 550 million would actually come to such a remote place, Levi was thinking when he saw Momuzagi walking towards him with her long and beautiful legs. From the look in Momuzagi's eyes, among them, Levi can see a little ridicule. Obviously she is confident in her own strength. Momuzagi Vice Admiral, A big shot like you would come to a remote place like this, why can't I come to a place like this? Levi tilted his head and looked Momuzagi up and down. He had to say that this woman's figure was really well maintained. Levi was very moved after seeing it. Do you want to die? Momuzagi said with a smile. She also felt Levi's fiery gaze, and her hand held her sword kinpara, and a sharp breath made Levi feel his eyes aching slightly. Is this the power of a swordsman? Sure enough, it has its own uniqueness. Levi looked at the sword on Momuzagi's waist. Although he didn't know what level of sharp sword it was, Levi was sure that it was definitely a famous sword. Friends, new books need support and encouragement. Where are the tickets and rewards? Please don't be stingy and vote for them. This will give the author the motivation to write, and also let the author know that everyone is here. Thank you. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 23. What? Momuzagi Vice Admiral and Levi showed up at the auction house. Doflamingo was shocked when he heard Torbal's report. As a businessman who has been wandering around the lower world all year round, Doflamingo's IQ is absolutely online. Although Momuzagi is a Vice Admiral, she and the T-Dolphin are both called Admiral Backup. This means that although Momuzagi does not have the Admiral's combat power, there is definitely not much difference. This is just an ordinary auction. I didn't expect Marine to send such a heavy weight. This sent a very dangerous signal. Marine was preparing to steal the devil fruit. As for Levi, he has a bounty of up to 550 million belly when he first debuted. Doflamingo originally thought that he was also a careerist, but unexpectedly he never appeared again after appearing in Sabayati Archipelago, but now he appears here it is. And through Doflamingo's intelligence network in Sabayati Archipelago, he got a very surprising news, that is, Levi, like him, is also a person with Conqueror's qualifications. Levi escaped from Marine Admiral Aokiji when he was escaping from Mariejois. When Doflamingo got the news, he was shocked and couldn't help himself for a long time. It's obvious that both Momuzagi and Levi came here for the golden fruit, and according to the intelligence, neither of them had enough Baileys. They were all trying to rob. Let's go and support Torable. Doflamingo's expression changed drastically. Oops, young master, Marine is chasing us, and the leader seems to be Marine Vice Admiral Crane. Pika came in and reported to him. Doflamingo immediately understood that this was Marine's trick, letting Vice Admiral Crane trap him in the sea, and then letting Momuzagi take action to snatch the golden fruit. Marine, this is a conspiracy. Doflamingo cannot beat Crane Vice Admiral. To be precise, Doflamingo is very afraid of Crane Vice Admiral's ability to wash fruits. It is said that Vice Admiral's washing fruit can wash away the sins in people's hearts, but Doflamingo has no interest in trying it. Crane Vice Admiral, you are cruel. Doflamingo's forehead had veins popping up, which was a sign of his anger. Notify Torble to leave the golden fruit in the auction house and ask him to retreat. Although he was angry, Doflamingo remained calm. He knew that if Torble fled with the golden fruit, Torble would never be able to escape from the island. Torble was his guide. When he was young, Torble had already defected to him and followed him around. In his eyes, Torble was more valuable than gold. Much more important. Although unwilling to give in, Doflamingo's flamingo pirate ship slowly moved back. Vice Admiral Crane stood on one of the warships. When she saw this, she followed suit. As night fell, a fire broke out in the entire auction house, and the entire auction house suddenly became chaotic. The pirates are all veterans in this art. When they saw this fire, they knew that someone wanted to rob this golden fruit. As a result, the auction house was completely in chaos. The bodyguards of the auction house, the pirates who were causing trouble, and the pirates who were maintaining order all had their own agendas. The entire auction house was completely in chaos. I got the golden fruit. Levi looked at the devil fruit in the box in front of him and couldn't help but sigh. Levi asked Tetsura to set the fire in the auction house. The pirates were indeed a group of thugs. As soon as they saw the fire, they began to attack the auction house. Now the situation was completely chaotic. Put down the golden fruit. A cold scream sounded from behind Levi, and at the same time Levi felt a force that made his scalp numb come from behind. Shave. Levi jumped away from the spot in a flash. Where he just stood, a deep ravine appeared there, which was Momuzagi's slash. What a strong swordsmanship, Levi's heart was awe-inspiring. If Levi hadn't dodged just now, Momuzagi's blow just now would have definitely seriously injured him. Iron body. Plum skin. Armament haki. Levi directly blessed himself with triple protection. He wanted to see if his current physical strength could compete with the swordsman's slashes. How can it be? Momuzagi's little mouth opened wide in shock. Just now, Levi used his body to receive a blow from her. Except for a slight bleeding on his arm, there was no trace of anything else. Life returned. As Levi's energy circulated, his arm healed quickly, and in the end only a white mark remained. Is it really too much? Levi frowned and looked at the red mark on his arm. This was just Momuzagi's slash. If it had been replaced by Hawkeye's slash, wouldn't he have died? Moreover, Kaido among the four emperors is said to have unparalleled physical strength. Although he has not fought with Kaido, Levi knows that his body is far from Kaido's physical strength. Readers, if you have flowers and evaluation votes, please vote. I feel like I am single player these 2 days, it is too uncomfortable. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 24. Tempest Kick. Levi's feet kicked out a series of air blades towards Momuzagi, and the air blades made a shrill whistle and headed towards Momuzagi. Momuzagi swung the sword in her hand repeatedly, and her sword sent out a half-moon-shaped slash. When the slash almost came into contact with Levi's Tempest Kick, it automatically split into a rain of slashes and covered Levi. Levi used armament haki to harden his whole body, and then he headed towards Momuzagi like a bull. Bang! Levi's iron fist hit Momuzagi's Jinbaigo, who was smashed into a crescent shape by Levi's fist. Momuzagi's left fist hit 1/3 of the hilt of Jinbaigo's sword. With a fierce flick of Jinbaigo, the sword suddenly shook straight. Levi turned his head to avoid Kinbigo's blow, and then punched Momuzagi's soft belly with his fist. Boom! Momuzagi's body smashed into the roof of the auction house, and the entire auction house was smashed by Momuzagi. For a moment, dust was flying everywhere, and the scene below could not be seen clearly. A sharp look flashed in Levi's eyes, and he was ready to take advantage of the victory. But before he could even fall down, he felt a palpitation in his heart. He stepped on Moonwalk and dodged to the side. A huge crescent-shaped slash split the granite on the ground and the house behind him into two, and a huge ravine went away from Levi in the distance. What a risk! I almost got seriously injured. Swordsman is indeed a dangerous profession. Levi looked at this huge ravine with lingering fear. Da-da! The crisp sound of high heels hitting the floor sounded. Momuzagi walked out of the ruins. Her pink marine coat had disappeared, and there was a trace of blood left at the corner of her mouth. It looked like she was seriously injured by Levi's punch. Brothers, there's something going on here. Go over here and take a look. The noise of the pirates rang out, and Levi was interrupted by them, and all his fighting spirit disappeared. Looking at Momuzagi, although she was injured by Levi, she was still not injured to her core. She still has the strength to fight. Levi will not be able to defeat her in a short period of time. Momuzagi Vice Admiral, see you later. Levi smiled at Momuzagi, and then he stepped on the moonwalk and flew into the sky. He has already obtained the gold fruit, so there is no point in fighting Momuzagi anymore, and although Levi can defeat Momuzagi, Levi cannot stop Momuzagi if he wants to escape. Don't even think about escaping. Momuzagi also stepped on moonwalk and chased Levi. Although she stepped on high heels, her moonwalk was not slow at all. Gun wave, kunyu. A stream of water droplets shot towards Momuzagi like a spear. Momuzagi held Kinbigo and continuously struck with slashes. Finally, she took down Levi's moves, but she also fell to the ground. She looked around, but there was no trace of Levi anywhere. Tetsara, eat it. Levi threw the golden fruit directly to him, as if he was throwing a rag instead of the devil fruit that everyone wanted to fight for. Boss Levi, thank you. Tetsara bowed deeply to Levi, and then he bit the devil fruit hard. Vomit. Tetsara had just taken a bite of devil fruit when his expression changed. After that, he started to retching, but the devil fruit was already in his mouth, and no matter how much he retched, it was of no avail. You must eat all the devil fruit in order to inherit devil fruit's abilities perfectly. Hold on. Seeing that Tetsara wanted to vomit, Levi hurriedly encouraged Tetsara. How does it taste, Tezero? Levi watched Tezero eat all the fruits. In the anime, he said that devil fruit tastes like shit. Now it seems true from Tezero's appearance. This is the most disgusting thing I have ever eaten in my life, bar none. After a long time, Tetsalo finally recovered, and he cried and said to Levi, "Okay, let's try the power of the golden fruit." Levi threw a package at Tetsara's feet. He also took some gold jewelry when he ransacked the auction house just now. Tetsara pressed his palms on these gold jewelry, and these exquisite jewelry immediately flowed towards Tetsara's arms like water. The gold water kept transforming in Tetsara's hands, turning into a dagger for a while, a long sword for a while, and even a rope, which really opened Levi's eyes. Tetsara, there is still half of the gold jewelry here. Why don't you melt it together? Are you not strong enough? Levi couldn't help but ask as he looked at the half of the jewelry left on the ground. No. Tetsara pondered for a moment and said, "Actually, the jewelry you are holding are fake, boss." Profiteers, they are really profiteers. Levi heartbrokenly condemned these unscrupulous merchants. Afterwards, in order to prevent another accident from happening, Levi and Tetsaro left the island overnight. Friends, it's evening, and readers of Wawa and Piaoxiao can vote a little. There will be another update tonight. The author is working hard on coding and needs your support and encouragement. Pirates, check in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 25. This devil fruit is so powerful, but it costs too much gold, Tetsalo said with regret. Where can I get some gold? Levi was also thinking about this question. Boss, let's go rob the gold mine. Tetsalo's eyes lit up and he put forward a very constructive suggestion to Levi. Can your golden fruit card extract gold directly from the ore? Levi asked Tetsalo with a sideways glance. It should be possible, but my current ability is not enough. Tetsalo scratched his head in embarrassment. Then you go dig the gold mine we grabbed, Levi said angrily. What should we do? We can't rob a gold store. The profit is too low, Tetsalo complained. It would be nice if there was a ship full of gold for us to rob. The speaker has no intention, the listener has intention. Levi's eyes suddenly lit up. Tetsalo's words reminded him that he knew where to get gold. It's not like there's no place. Have you heard of heavenly gold? Levi said quietly. Heavenly gold. Tetsalo was startled for a moment. How could he not know what the heavenly gold was? Heavenly gold means that the participating countries must pay tribute to celestial dragons every year with a portion of their treasure. The 170 participating nations will deliver their treasures to Marines' escort ships to Mariejois for the celestial dragons to spend. When you think about it, 170 countries make offerings for 1 year, which is a huge amount of money. Moreover, there are a lot of gold and silver treasures among the gold in the sky. If you can get the gold in the sky, Tetsalo will no longer have to worry about gold. Celestial dragons are the supreme beings in this world, and if anyone offends them, they will suffer crazy revenge from Marine. Therefore, no brave pirate has dared to do it in Tianshangjian for so many years. But Levi and Tezalo are not ordinary people. Levi is a time traveler, and he has no respect for the celestial dragons at all. As for Tetsalo, he has a blood feud with the celestial dragons, and Stella was tortured to death by the celestial dragons. Levi's words immediately gained Tezalo's approval, and the two began to study the starting point with great interest. On the Blue Sea, there are more than 10 warships sailing on the sea. They are Marines' troops transporting gold from the sky. Because no pirate can bear the wrath of offending the celestial dragons, escorting heavenly gold is a rare job among Marines. Countless officers of second generation want to perform this task. Cheer up Laozi, Bastille Vice Admiral shouted at the loose army in front of him. Bastille Vice Admiral is a famous iron-blooded faction. He is a subordinate of Akainu Sakazuki. He knew that the way to transport heavenly gold was very safe, but he just couldn't stand the laxity of these noble children. These guys only perform one mission a year, and their salary is higher than the captain at naval headquarters. The most annoying thing is that these guys have no less military merit than the Marines who fight life and death on the front line. Report to the general, there is a small boat ahead, the lookout on the top of the boat reported to the Bastille Vice Admiral. The soldiers on this ship are all direct descendants brought from the naval headquarters by the Bastille Vice Admiral. Not only are they rich in combat experience, but each one of them has extraordinary strength. Small boat? It looks like it's looking for trouble. Bastille Vice Admiral felt a hint of gloom in his heart. He carefully looked at the transportation route map. This was the easiest place to be ambushed. Moreover, this place is located in the deep sea, so it is impossible for fishermen to be washed over by the waves. Accelerate and crush him directly. Bastille Vice Admiral put his horn helmet on his head, his shark-killing knife was already in his hands, and he was already in combat mode. Boss Levi, it seems that we have been discovered. Tetsalo saw that the warship had no intention of slowing down, so they also tore off the disguise. Boom! Levi and Tezalo landed on the deck, and before they could say anything, they found themselves surrounded by Marines with guns. Shooting. Bastille Vice Admiral gave an order, and the Marine spears shot at the Levis. When the Marine soldiers were shooting, a pair of golden wings suddenly spread out behind Tetsalo, and the wings turned into several shields that kept rotating. All the bullets of the soldiers were blocked by the shields. Demon fruit power, Bastille Vice Admiral whispered. Be careful, Bastille Vice Admiral shouted, and then his shark-cutting sword turned completely black. He had attached armament haki to his broadsword. You're done fighting, it's my turn. Behind Tetsalo, his several golden shields suddenly turned into hundreds of spears. Call out. The spears broke through the air and made a roar. Although the Bastille Vice Admiral blocked several spears, the Marine soldiers still suffered heavy losses. Receive. Tezaro pointed his finger, and all the golden spears converged on him like birds flying into the forest, and a golden armor wrapped his whole body. Friends, coding late at night is not easy. Friends who still have flowers, evaluation votes, and monthly votes, please vote. 1 or 2 flowers is never too few, and thousands of flowers are never too many. Thank you, author. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 26. Tezaro, who was wearing golden armor, seemed to be a god of war at the moment. The gold in his hands slowly changed, and a golden shinso condensed in his hands. The gold shinso in Tetsalo's hand pointed directly at the Bastille Vice Admiral. Obviously he wanted to fight the Bastille Vice Admiral in a duel. Tezalo has been following Levi for more than 2 years. Although Levi's progress is rapid, Tezalo's progress is not slow at all. He also learned armament haki on 9 Snake Island, and also learned a little bit of Marine 6 styles. After he got the golden fruit, his strength soared rapidly. Levi gave all the golden fruits he learned about in his previous life to Tizalo, and Tizalo had a lot of gold. So he had the foundation for a duel with Vice Admiral. Arrogant. The Vice Admiral of Bastille was furious. He raised the shark-killing knife in his hand high, and then slashed it down with the big knife in his hand. Boom! Accompanied by a loud noise, the entire warship shook violently, and a huge gap was cut on the deck by the shark-cutting knife. Although Bastille's broadsword attacked with great speed, his speed was still too slow. Tetsalo's golden shinso was swung extremely fast, and huge holes appeared one after another on Bastille Vice Admiral's body. Get down here! Tetsalo's eyes flashed, and his shinso struck Bastille Vice Admiral hard on the back. Bastille Vice Admiral fell into the sea without saying a word. Bastille Vice Admiral, when the sailors saw Bastille Vice Admiral falling into the water, they fell into the water one by one. They all rushed to rescue Bastille Vice Admiral. Jump down on your own. Don't force me to do it, Levi shouted to the Marines on the boat. It's Levi, the big pirate with a bounty of 550 million belly. Oh my god. It's that pirate Supernova. The direct troops of Bastille Vice Admiral have jumped into the water to rescue Bastille Vice Admiral, and the rest are Marine officers second generation. Then a scene happened that left Levi and Tizalo speechless. The Marines of the 10 warships no longer resisted, and they all dived into the water. We captured 10 battleships just like this. Tetsalo said to Levi in disbelief. Levi was also speechless towards these sailors. He originally thought he was going to experience a big battle, but he didn't expect them to capture 10 warships so easily. What are you waiting for? Go find the gold. Levi kicked Tetsalo, who was still in a daze, and then the two of them quickly ran towards the warship. Jewelry. Throw it away. Antique. Throw it away. Calligraphy and painting? Throw it away. Tetsalo fused the gold from one warship after another, which was a huge harvest. Tetsalo never dreamed that he would have so much wealth. Tetsalo once again remembered what Levi said to him, and Tetsalo completely returned to Levi. Tetsalo was exhausted several times, but in the end all the gold was smelted by him into a golden warship that was several times larger than a marine warship. Every part of this ship was made of gold. After counting, Levi also found 2 devil fruits, 1 devil fruit from Logia, and 1 devil fruit from Paramecia. Levi didn't have a devil fruit illustrated book, so he put the devil fruit in the box first. Tizalo, first go to the 7 capitals of water. We need a master shipbuilder to design a unique ship for us. Levi ordered to Tizalo. The ambush point they chose was not far from an ice lobby, and they happened to go to Water 7 City to find Tom the Fishman to design a boat. What? Tianjin was robbed, and it was 2 people. What? You said it was Levi who robbed the heavenly gold. Sengoku was immediately furious when he got the news that Tianjin had been robbed. This was the first time that the Tianjin system had been robbed since its birth. Sengoku really wanted to arrest Levi and see how he found the courage. How could he be so bold? What's the damage? Now that things have happened, let's first see how big the loss is. If the loss is not big, it can be made up. If the loss is too big, report to the Marshal, we have lost 2 devil fruit and all the gold, Bastille Vice Admiral reported. At this moment, Bastille Vice Admiral has been rescued by soldiers, and he is currently recovering in the hospital. Gold? Golden fruit. Sengoku is worthy of being Marshal Marine. He figured out the cause and effect of the matter in an instant. According to Bastille Vice Admiral's description, the golden gold fruit has been eaten by a man named Tizalo, and that man already has the strength of Vice Admiral or above. What an eventful year it has been, Sengoku said with a headache. Since Roger's death started the great pirates, the current pirates have reached the most prosperous peak. The strength of four emperors Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Kaido, and Big Mom are at their peak, and among this year's new generation of pirates, Hawkeye is competing for the throne of the best swordsman in the world. Moria and Crocodile are all aiming for the throne of the four emperors. Marine's manpower was already stretched thin, so the Shishibukai system was proposed in an attempt to stabilize the situation in the sea. Issue a bounty order to increase Levi's bounty to 1 billion and Tetsalo's bounty to 100 million. As soon as Sengoku issued this order, the entire sea was shaken. Friends, a new day, a new beginning. Please vote for flowers and comments. Today, there are still 6 updates the author is working hard to code and needs everyone's support. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 27. As soon as the 1 billion bounty came out, the entire sea was shaken. Celestial gold is the taboo of all celestial dragons, and now someone dares to take action against celestial dragons. This news spread quickly, and Levi's reputation spread throughout the Grand Line and the world. Even the overlord of the second half of the Grand Line, we also know Levi's name. Koo-la-la-la, you are such an amazing kid. Whitebeard held a newspaper in his hand. He took a big sip of wine, then glanced at the newspaper in his hand, and said with a bold smile, "What an amazing kid, he actually dares to take action against the gold in the sky. Dad, this is the first time in history that the gold in the sky has been robbed. This young man is really brave. I really want to meet him. Such a courageous person is qualified to be our brother." As the captain of Whitebeard's first team, Marco's first reaction was whether this person could be used by the Whitebeard pirates. "Don't worry, we will have a chance to meet each other. We are all men on the sea. But if he really comes to my Whitebeard pirate group because he is being hunted by Marine, I, Whitebeard, will definitely recognize this son." Whitebeard raised his glass, and the entire Whitebeard pirate group fell into carnival again. New World, Tato Land Kingdom, Cake Island. A pirate with $1 billion bounty? I didn't expect that such a character could appear on the sea. It's a pity that he is a human being, otherwise he could be my man. Big Mom sat on her throne and sighed in boredom. In one breath, she then picked up a huge piece of cake and put it in her mouth. After that, she closed her eyes in intoxication. The cream from Bodo Island is the most delicious. Let them prepare 10 tons of cream for me immediately, Big Mom ordered. Then there was a dark figure above the main hall who went out to do something. Well, in that case, let him be Smoothie's husband. This kid is about the same age as Smoothie. Big Mom claps her hands and decides on a marriage for her daughter. "Mom, you can't do this." Smooth's cheeks turned red. He was so embarrassed to say such a thing in front of so many people. "So, you are going to oppose me?" The aunt looked at Smoothie, her eyes were bloodshot, and at the same time, a depressing atmosphere filled the entire hall, making the entire hall suddenly become quiet. "Mom, that's not what she meant. Sister Smoothie is just shy." "Yes, shy." As the eldest son of his aunt, Pero hurriedly came out to defend his sister. He had no choice but to do so. Once his mother went berserk, the consequences would be really terrible. Yes, after all, he is a brat who has never been masked, and he is suddenly engaged to be married. No matter who he is, he will be shy, Smoothie said with a smile, and her back was now covered with cold sweat. "So that's it? That doesn't matter. Just wait until you get married and think he's not suitable and kill him. Now send someone to send that brat an invitation to the tea party." Big Mom laughed again, so the candles and flowers in the hall also everyone laughed, and a cheerful atmosphere appeared in the hall again. In a little-known tavern in East Blue, a red-haired man wearing a straw hat was lying on the back of a chair. He also held a newspaper in his hand, there are still people who dare to rob the gold in the sky. I really want to fight with this Levi. Let's meet each other, I feel like we will become good friends. Shanks, how long are you prepared to stay here? New World is about to start a new round of reshuffle. If we don't hurry up, we will miss the last chance. Beside Shanks, a man with a slicked back hair, complained the stocky man smoking a cigarette. You're right, Shanks laughed heartily. Beckman, it's time for us to go to New World to compete for hegemony. I will also become the new emperor of New World. Becoming the new emperor, Yasop laughed. He shouted loudly, everyone, eat well and drink well, we will start Chinbo New World tomorrow. Dominate! Dominate! The pirates in the tavern let out loud roars. Loot the heavenly gold? This seems to be a shortcut to becoming a Shishibukai. Doflamingo was also holding a newspaper at the moment, and he was thinking more than others. He is a descendant of the celestial dragons, so he naturally knows what heavenly gold means to the celestial dragons, and he also knows many secrets of the celestial dragons. As long as these secrets are in hand, the celestial dragons will never dare to kill him. Doflamingo is a far more suitable candidate than Levi. As a tycoon, Doflamingo knows well that you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. Although Marine promised him that as long as he could find the up fruit, Marine would let him become a Shishibukai. But Doflamingo is still looking for a second plan. Now Levi's approach has inspired him, and a new backup plan has taken shape. Young master, up fruit is coming to Mignon Island soon. Torbel's voice brought Doflamingo back to reality. He straightened his flamingo coat and walked out. Friends, come with flowers, evaluation votes, and monthly tickets. 1 or 2 flowers is never too few, and 10 or 8 flowers are never too many. Pirates, check in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 28. Although the whole world has been shocked by Levi, Levi is still unaware of it. At this moment, he and Tesoro came to the 7 capitals of water. Boss, Water 7 is a famous shipbuilding base in the entire New World. We can just find a large shipyard to design it. Why do you have to find a fisherman named Tom? Tetsara asked in confusion. In his mind, it is just a design drawing of a big ship. Just find someone to design it, as long as it can be driven. Why have to find someone to customize it? Why are you looking for Tom? Because he built Roger the Pirate King's Oro Jerson. Levi's words left Tetsara speechless. A person's name, the shadow of a tree. After Roger became the Pirate King, even his ship became a legend. Tesoro only knew that Roger's ship was made entirely of atom wood, but he didn't know who built it. He never expected that the captain who built Roger's pirate ship was in the 7 capitals of water. And what Tetsara didn't know was that Levi had an extremely amazing idea. He was planning to build an unprecedented ship, one with an area the size of a country. Levi couldn't think of anyone who could complete this kind of ship. He could only find the strongest shipbuilder in the world. Who are you looking for? Asked a young man with blue hair and a pair of swimming trunks. This young man is that Frankie. At this time, perhaps because of his younger age, he is far from the strong pervert aura that he will have in later generations. I'm looking for Master Tom, Levi said with a smile. What are you doing with the old man? He's not free right now. Frankie tilted his head and replied. Master Tom was known to pirates all over the world because he built a ship for the Pirate King Roger. It was also because of this ship that after the Pirate King Roger was executed, he was brought to an ice lobby for trial because he assisted the Pirate King in building the ship. However, after he asked the trial judge to explain the design and concept of the sea train, the judge changed the trial and temporarily gave him time to create it. Now Tom has moved to this remote island and is determined to build a sea train. He will never build a new pirate ship for others. Master Tom, please see me again. Levi's voice suddenly rose, and his voice spread far away. Guest, please leave immediately, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. Frankie held a cannon in his hand, and he pointed the dark barrel at Levi. I didn't expect that Levi, who has been so famous recently, would come to a small place like mine. Please come in. Fishman Tom came out of the hut. Contrary to Levi's expectations, his temper was surprisingly good. I didn't expect that Master Tom actually knew me. It really surprised me. Although I work behind closed doors, I read every issue of the newspaper. It's hard not to recognize the great pirate whose bounty is currently as high as 1 billion. Tom said with a smile. I don't know why you came here. If it's to build a ship, please come back. I really don't have time. Fishman Tom blocked Levi's words before he could explain his purpose. Of course I don't want the master to build a ship. I want the master to design a big ship for me, a ship bigger than the country. Levi's words shocked Tom. Tom has built countless boats in his life, but this is the first time he has heard of a ship of this size. A large 3-mast ship like the ships built by the pirates was enough. This was the first time he had heard of such an amazing idea. I want to build a country drifting on the sea. I want to rescue the people who are deeply oppressed on the sea. This ship will be their shelter. Everyone is equal here. As long as they need to work, they can beat me with everything they have. Here they will no longer be oppressed, here. Through Levi's narration, a perfect society full of fantasy is in front of Tom and others. Tom and others are inspired to flush, and each of them has been discriminated against. Tom is a fish man, so he was discriminated against by humans when he first came to land. It took him half a lifetime to throw water into the water before the humans in the 7 capitals finally recognized him, but countless people under the Fishmen Island, the fishmen, are still petitioning hard to gain power above the ground, and countless fishmen are still being sold into slavery. As for Tesoro, his lover Stella was a slave. He worked hard to earn money to redeem her, but as soon as he saved enough money, Stella was bought by the celestial dragons. She was then tortured by the celestial dragons. And died. He also became a slave for insulting the celestial dragons. Everyone, we are free. Why can celestial dragons be so superior? Levi's question caused Tom and Tesoro's worldview to collapse. They were indoctrinated into the concept that celestial dragons are gods since they were born. After Levi's guidance, a new world appeared before their eyes. In line with your great ideal, I designed this ship for you, Tom said solemnly. Thank you very much, Master Tom, Levi said to Tom. You're too polite. It's me who should thank you. I'm very honored to be able to participate in such a great plan. Tom declined hastily. He saw in Levi the hope of the Murlocs returning to land. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 29. Ding. A new sign-in mission has been released. Host is asked to reach Angel Island within 7 days, defeat the god of thunder Enel and save Angel Island. Reward, 1 Logia Devil Fruit Thunder Fruit. While Levi was chatting with Tom, the system that had been dormant for a long time reappeared. A new check-in task was released again, and the current rewards made Levi very excited. Thunder Fruit is called the strongest Logia Devil Fruit by countless comic fans. Users who use this devil fruit can not only turn their bodies into thunder and lightning, but also use thunder and lightning to create high temperatures, and can also use the form of thunder and lightning and the speed of light. Rapid movement among conductors. What makes Levi most excited about this fruit is that this fruit can use its power of thunder and lightning to temper the body. This is an all-round invincible fruit. Now Levi's physical skills have reached a bottleneck, but his physical skills still have a lot of room for improvement, and the easiest way to improve his physical skills is to eat a devil fruit. According to the current time calculation, Enel has destroyed his hometown Birka, and Enel should have arrived at Angel Island by now. Tetsara, you and I are going to do something, Levi ordered Tetsara. So the two of them headed towards Angel Island again. Is this Sky Island? At this moment, Levi felt as if they had arrived in a white wonderland. The sky and the earth were hazy white, as beautiful as a dream. According to the plot of the anime, Angel Island is above Gaia Island. If an ordinary pirate ship wants to reach Sky Island from here, it must use the sky current. But they didn't know when the soaring current would break out, so Levi and Tzalo used moonwalk directly to Angel Island. Levi's expression moved, and he seemed to feel something and remained motionless. While everyone was marveling at the scenery of the White Sea, they suddenly felt a pain in their hearts, as if something had pierced them. Is this Enel's heart network? Levi felt something strange in his chest, and he felt more and more that Enel was also a talent. What a strange cloud, Tzalo exclaimed. The cloud was so soft and comfortable to step on now that it was more comfortable than stepping on a carpet, and it didn't get dirty. The most peculiar thing is that the houses here and everything within sight are made of white clouds and shells. This is a civilization of clouds and shells. Levi pointed to the glorious golden clock in the distance and said, "There is a lot of gold in this place. Go dig it out. Although there is still a small obstacle ahead, you should be able to overcome it, right? Tzaro's strength is no problem against ordinary Chundu, and there should be no problem in letting him deal with Enel's 4 priests." Levi then used shave and moonwalk at the same time to rush towards where Enel was. Enel was still eating apples when a person suddenly appeared in front of him. Enel stared blankly at Levi, who suddenly appeared with a pair of dead fish eyes on his expressionless face. Levi was very satisfied with Enel's expression, and it was worth Levi's pretense. Enel wears a white turban on his head, his ears hang past his shoulders, and he has a death-faced drum on his back. He looked at Levi in front of him and was stunned for a moment. He swallowed the apple in his hand and touched the golden throne behind him. The throne immediately melted and turned into a golden stick. Levi looked at Enel's operation with envy. This is the God of God. He uses gold as a weapon. Even the Ark of Proverbs is made of gold. I'm afraid there are only celestial dragons and the future golden emperor Tai in the entire One Piece world. Zoro can compete with Enel. Levi took one step and reached the top of Sky Island. When he first appeared, a lightning turned into a human figure and appeared in front of him. It was Enel. The moment Enel sensed Levi, he transformed into thunder and came to Levi. As expected of the strongest devil fruit. With teleportation speed, devastating attacks, and the ability to continuously strengthen the body, Levi sighed. But all this is just bells and whistles, and everything is false in the face of absolute strength. Levi clenched his fist and said to Enel, "Are you ready for failure?" "How dare you say such things to God?" Enel said with full of Shuyunibu. "Feel my iron fist." Before Enel could finish speaking, Levi punched Enel. The punch hit Enel's abdomen directly and stayed there. It penetrated into his body and caused serious injuries to his internal organs. Enel coughed up a mouthful of blood. He had just transformed into a thunder body, but it was of no use and was still injured by Levi. He clutched his abdomen and said angrily, "How dare you hurt a great god? You're finished. 30 million volt thunderbirds. 30 million volts, thunder beast." Enel raised his golden stick and struck the big drum behind him twice. A white thunderbird shaped like a phoenix and a blue beast rushed towards Levi. Levi looked at the two thunder beasts and said contemptuously to Enel, "Thor, show some real skills. It's better not to show these fancy things. It's okay to deal with small characters, but it's not that good to deal with me." Waiting for the two thunder beasts to approach, Levi beat them to ashes with one punch. Enel was also shocked by Levi's exaggerated approach. This was the first time Enel saw an opponent who could destroy his Ultralisk with just his fists. 100 million volts, thunder welcomes. A bolt of lightning fell straight on Levi's head. Levi appeared there without dodging. The lightning hit Levi and the scene became blazing white. "Is that all you can do, Enel?" After the dazzling light passed, Enel's eyes suddenly shrank when he looked at the scene in front of him. He couldn't help but take a breath. This time his opponent was so terrifying. Enel's 100 million volt attack was enough to wipe out a small island, but now the opponent in front of him actually ignored his lightning. The lightning that struck Levi only tore his clothes into pieces. Except for the fact that Levi's hair turned into chicken coop hair, there were no wounds on Levi's body. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 30. Levi said boldly, "Come again." Enel danced the long stick in his hand a few times and said, "You are very strong, so you are lucky to be able to see God's ultimate stunt. There's so much nonsense, take the bait." When Levi's fist was swung out, a shadow of the fist magnified 100 times hit Enel. Enel did not retreat at all. As his body began to glow, a second sun seemed to appear above Sky Island. Enel took this move solely by virtue of his superior physical strength. Mariejois. The tip of the long stick in Enel's hand began to change and turned into a trident. Thunder and lightning shone all over his body, attacking Levi in all directions. Interesting, so interesting. Levi laughed wildly and dodged Enel's attack. He had already awakened observation haki when Nine Snakes was training, and now he can easily feel the trajectory of Enel's attack and dodge it easily. Enel's attack is deeply rooted in martial arts, with the characteristic of being fast and unbreakable. He took Thunder Fruit's speed to ultimate. Pricking, picking, slashing, splitting, stabbing, the golden trident covered Levi like a violent storm. Levi had not fought so heartily for a long time. At this moment, although he felt like he was fighting alone with Enel, he felt that Enel was everywhere. Levi knew that this was an illusion caused by Enel's too fast speed. Levi's whole body was covered with armed haki. When he clashed with Enel's trident with his fist, he discovered that Enel's attack also contained powerful electric current, which could paralyze people unconsciously. "What kind of trick are you doing?" Enel looked at Levi, whose clothes had become dark and shiny, in confusion. He felt that ever since Levi became like this, his lightning has become immune to Levi. This is the first time Enel has encountered this situation. Poor frog in the well, this one is called armament haki. In the world below, anyone with a little bit of strength can do this. How about it? Consider becoming my subordinate. I won't treat you badly. Levi tempted. Enel's face was still expressionless, and Levi suspected that this guy was paralyzed. At this moment, Enel spoke, "You want me to be your subordinate? Defeat me first." 20 million volts of thunder. Enel stared at Levi with his dead fish eyes, and he said word by word, "I want to see if your armament haki can withstand my 200 million volts. A huge fat man made of thunder and lightning took Enel's place. Levi looked at the godlike fat man in front of him in shock. This fat man with thunder and lightning was nearly 100 meters tall. His whole body was surrounded by thunder and lightning, and occasionally there was another one on the surface of his body. A small electric arc jumped out and made a crackling sound. Levi felt the overwhelming momentum of this thunder god. The surface temperature of this thunder god's body seemed to be that of a huge iron-making blast furnace. He could already feel the heat of the surrounding temperature even though he was hundreds of meters away from this thunder god. Before Levi could think more, Thor had already launched an attack on Levi. Thor's huge figure flashed in front of Levi. Before Thor's fist fell, Levi had used Moonwalk to leave Thor's attack range. Levi frowned and thought, "We must fight quickly. The surface temperature of this guy's body is too high. It seems that he needs to show some real skills." In an instant, Levi used all his strength. He started to attack the thunder god who was 100 meters away. Levi called this move beating an ox across a mountain. Although the power of the fist was separated from the body, the power of the fist did not decrease at all. The god of thunder was like a candle blown by the strong wind, and the thunder and lightning all over his body was scattered by Levi's punches. The god of thunder became smaller and smaller. Just when Levi thought that the overall situation was determined, something happened on the field again. How is it possible to defeat me? Wanlei, open it for me. Following Enel's shout, a sea of thunder suddenly poured down from the sky. The sea of thunder submerged the surroundings of Enel. The god of thunder slowly grew in size at a speed visible to the naked eye, even greater than before. Is this an ability similar to the field? I never thought that Enel has such a skill. Levi couldn't help but admired. He is indeed the crew member I like. He is indeed very capable. As thunder fell from the sky, the white clouds above Sky Island were suddenly cleared, and a black ship bottom was revealed in the sky. Only then did Levi discover that the thunder in the sky was cast by Enel with the help of the Ark's proverbs. Enel immediately attacked Levi, trying to bring Levi into his attack range. How could Levi get his wish? Although Levi was not afraid of his thunder and lightning, but, the ruined clothes were still money. Levi uses Moonwalk's crazy change of direction in an attempt to leave Enel's territory. But every time he changed direction, Enel was already rushing over. He changed 3 or 4 directions, and Enel was able to block him every time. Has it been seen through? Levi suddenly remembered Enel's innermost thoughts and couldn't help but suddenly realized. His attack had actually been reflected in Enel's mind for a long time, but Enel remained calm. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you. Pirates, check in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 31. Levi laughed and said, "You give me more and more surprises, Enel." At this moment, Levi was already in the midst of Enel's thunder, but his whole body was not damaged at all. Enel's attacks hit Levi's body one after another, but Levi's body was not damaged at all. Levi said to Enel, "Although your lightning is powerful, it is useless as long as it cannot break my armament haki." After a brief moment of surprise, Enel sneered, "Qinghai people, although I don't know the principle of your move, all the moves have one thing in common, that is, they require physical strength to support. Let me see how many you have physical strength." Enel is really a genius. Although he does not know the principle of armament haki, he can still grasp the fundamental points keenly. Enel's thunder and lightning became more and more dazzling, and Levi knew that Enel was not cheating him, but that Enel really wanted to compete with Levi in consumption. A flash of light flashed in Levi's eyes, and his fist had begun to charge up. In order to prevent Enel from escaping, he had to severely injure Enel first. When Enel was proud, a fist suddenly appeared in his abdomen, and he was hit and flew into the sky. At the moment when the fist hit Enel, Enel seemed to be in a noisy banquet, with various musical instruments playing wildly in his ears, and a cloud of gold stars appeared in front of his eyes. Before Enel could calm down, Levi had already appeared behind him. Clenching his hands together and hitting him on the back, Enel was beaten inhumanely by Levi like a rubber ball. "Did you hit him too hard?" Levi frowned and looked at the lifeless Enel in front of him and couldn't help complaining, "Why did you fall down before I even tried to do anything?" At this moment, Enel, who had lost all breath, started to beat faster and slowly recovered. His heartbeat became faster and faster, and finally he jumped up from where he was. Levi couldn't help but feel amazed when he saw Enel performing surgery on himself that was comparable to Doflamingo using string fruit. He could revive his dead self. This thunder fruit was really awesome. Enel gasped, and it took him a while to calm down his breathing. He looked at Levi with a look of resentment and said, I have never been beaten like this since I was a child. How dare you beat me like this? You will die. Not only are you dead, but everyone who came with you will also die. Finally, Lei Ying. Enel's crazy laughter sounded. Qinghai people, disappear with this island. At this moment, the people of Sky Island have been attracted by the direction where Levi and Enel are fighting. They can't help but feel a sense of despair when they look at the huge thunder ball in front of them. Are they going to die here today? Levi also felt a crisis from Enel's lightning attack. Now Enel's ultimate move really has the ability to kill him. Somewhere on Sky Island, an old man wearing armor and riding a winged Pegasus sat slumped on the ground. He was still muttering to himself, "It's over. Can Angel Island also escape the fate of being destroyed?" This old man is Ganful, the original god of Angel Island. He was the original ruler of Angel Island. After Enel arrived at Sky Island, he was defeated by Enel and then exiled. He could only wander in the White Sea. The momentum caused by Enel's destruction of Birka could be heard in other Sky Islands. At that time, such a big thunderball hit Birka and it was destroyed. Levi was caught in a battle between heaven and man. If he was alone, he could easily get rid of Enel's ultimate move, but there were countless Sky Island residents below Sky Island, and he couldn't let them all die. Enel felt Levi's struggle with his heart, and he felt more and more at ease. Just when Enel was about to throw his head back and laugh wildly, Levi spoke, "You feel it in your heart, right? In fact, I am lying to you. Are you happy or surprised?" Enel suddenly felt Levi disappear. Although Levi was in front of him, his mind showed that there was a blank there. "I could have blocked your heart from the beginning, but I kept teasing you just for fun," Levi said to Enel. "You." Enel spurted a mouthful of blood. He had never seen such a shameless person. Enel's face was distorted and he said, "Stop talking so loudly, let's talk about this next move." A ball of lightning the size of an island was struck down in his hand. Golden fruit, drainage. At this moment, a cold shout sounded, and a giant net composed of gold appeared over Angel Island. Before Enel's thunder and lightning touched Angel Island, his thunder and lightning followed the golden net over Angel Island to all directions. Flow away. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you.